Listen, I dislike tennis Twitter. Actually, almost every time I read something on there it ruins my day, but this time I decided to use that hatred to my advantage. While scrolling through Twitter, I found a tweet which went like this: "What tennis opinion do you have that would have you looking like Patrick in shackles?" Okay, it didn't say that exactly, but I read almost all of the replies and I thought to myself that it would be a great idea to make a video discussing some of those hot takes. And by doing that, I'll figure it out whether I have more in common with tennis Twitter than I actually think. First opinion that I want to talk about is quick and straight to the point. Thiem's pre-injury results are overrated. And you know, after making a video on Thiem's success post-injury, I saw allegations thrown at me that I'm just a Thiem hater. And it looks like I won't beat those allegations, baby, because I agree with this take full-heartedly. I just don't see why people pretend that he's one of the greats that we have seen in this modern era. Don't get me wrong, he's good, at times even great, but I would love it if people would stop overrating him. In my opinion, he just didn't have it. In his prime, he was moving like Tsitsipas right now is, in a sense that I never believed that he can consistently beat great players. Sure, there are statement wins against Federer, Nadal, Djokovic and other guys in his catalog. He won at a time when everyone was at home and lockdown was in full effect. Every tennis fan was watching the final and Zverev and Thiem delivered an all-time bad Grand Slam final. I don't care that it was a 5-setter that ended in a tiebreak, the quality was awful, and maybe that's what kinda rubs me the wrong way when people pretend like his run to the US Open title was incredible. Most of Dominic's titles were won on clay courts and I'm not a fan of those as well. He's below 500 against top 10 players in his career, and in general I just don't think that he is as legendary as people say he is. And to end this section of the video, I leave you with this take that could be a little hot. I just don't think that Dominic Thiem is a top 20 player of 2000s. It looks like I will continue being an enemy to some because again I agree with these 3 takes that you are seeing on the screen right now. Okay, maybe I don't agree with this one fully, but I do stand behind the sentiment that the best of 3 matches are as enjoyable as the best of 5 ones. And the thing is, I am no tennis historian, so I just don't understand why Grand Slams are played in the best of 5 format. I might have sounded like a dumbass saying that, and if you know the reason why Grand Slams use the best of 5 format, then please comment it down below, but that's how I feel, because in my opinion it's kinda weird to change rules for the most important matches. It's not like at Football World Cup all of a sudden they start playing 3 periods instead of 2 halves, or in the NBA playoffs they start always playing overtimes no matter the score. I mean, we all know it's not like that. Only other sport that follows the same thought process of making the most important matches longer is MMA. And I know some people are rolling over in their graves because I compared the barbarian sport that is mixed martial arts to the exquisite and respectable sport that is tennis. But that's the only sport that I can think of in this situation that compares to tennis. There is no doubt that there are absolute banger best of 5 matches that will live on longer than any player's career will, but with that being said, if I saw the news where it was announced that in 2025, for example, Grand Slam tournaments will be played in the best of 3 format, I wouldn't shed a tear, that's for sure. Now, let's talk about a take that I have been on the wrong side of in the past, and is that people should stop overhyping players after a 1 good win or a 1 good tournament result. I must admit that when I was younger, I was overzealous with some of my predictions of greatness in the past. At the time when Marco Cecchinato was playing great tennis and beating players like Novak Djokovic at the Grand Slam, I thought that the Italian stallion is about to become the next big thing in tennis, or at least on clay courts, but we all know how that worked out. I thought that Thiem van Rijthoven would become at least a top 100 player after his win in Hertogenbosch, but I was wrong. I'm not afraid to admit that, and I'm 100% sure that I have had even worse takes than that I just can't remember, but now as a reformed human being, I agree with the original take and I encourage everyone to be a bit more calm about the future projections of certain players. Let it play out a bit, because a lot of people have made that mistake as recently as this week, because many people were acting as if Zhizheng Zhang is going to be the next big thing. And guess what he did in Rome to solidify his great run at the Madrid Masters? He lost in the first round of the qualifying against Maestrelli. And if you don't know who Maestrelli is, I'll inform you about the fact that he's a middle-of-the-road player even on the Challenger Tour. So yeah, that's not the best loss to take when you are feeling yourself and people start believing your hype. So in hopes of helping you not to embarrass yourself by picking Jan Lennart Struff or Aslan Karatsev to win the French Open, again, I encourage you to not be that spontaneous when making predictions for the future, because there is a huge chance that those predictions will be wrong and you will be left disappointed. Now, let's do a quickfire round of some takes that caught my eye as well. I fully agree with this take, as you could probably understand throughout the video. I just don't get the hype behind the sentiment that in order for a match to be good, it has to be a 5-hour long snooze fest with a sprinkle of good tennis in between. Yeah, nostalgia is beating your ass, my friend, there is no way around it. Alcaraz, Djokovic, Tsitsipas, Sinner, Rune, Medvedev, Rublev wouldn't let that happen that easily. This is a factual statement that relates to many other sports, entertainment, or any other stuff that you can think of. Stans just take the fun out of discussing or just talking trash, because every time you prove them wrong, they get their feelings hurt, they start playing victim and messing up the fun by making things too serious. Speaking of stans, this is another statement that is true about them. It is funny to see when those accounts talk about how weirdos are thirsting over WTA players, but then their next post is about how they are making a mess in their pants after their favorite player flipped his hair or did some stupid stuff like that. By the way, I'm not defending creepy men, I just want to emphasize that both of those groups are absolute weirdos. And that's where I'm done reading this crap. Comment your opinions on these hot takes down below, and if you want to show how intelligent you are, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, that would mean a lot to me, and until next time, take it easy, my friend.